Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of red wine and I have a blanket on because I just want to kind of hunker in for a little bit and chat about the fear of failure. Not just like the fear of failure, but really like delve in to my fear of failure. Shelly asked me to talk about this a little bit more after my live chat with Jessica because we talked a lot about querying but didn't really delve into the fear of failure, and I was the one who wanted to lump those two together because right now my fear of failure has a lot to do with the querying process. And so for me, the general emotions following the idea that I'm about to be querying agents for the first time is just a whole lot of terror. Not just this kind of like, what will I do if I don't get the answers I want? I think it's just that it's the first time in this kind of writing process and this writing journey for me that I'm clearly at a wall where I'm either able to like scale the wall or I'm just not. And I say all of this and I want to point all of that out while still truly believing what I said on that live stream, which is that like publishing is a long game and the power of trying again and not giving up and determination and all this stuff. It's also a rite of passage, I know, but it's scary. But this isn't just about querying though, because I think all creative endeavors and writing especially, maybe that's just because I know the most about writing. I think all of them are just about managing to overcome the next fear. Because if I'm going to backtrack a little bit, the first time I gave my novels to beta readers was terrifying because I liked my writing, but what if they didn't? And I'd written fan fiction before and had people kind of comment on that, but this is the first time that it was my own stuff that I was giving to someone else. And so that fear is there because in my head, it was like, if they don't like it, then I've failed. I haven't done what I'm supposed to as a storyteller if they don't like it. And I'm not saying, that that's like, I don't want to say it's a bad emotion. I'm not saying that that's what you should feel. Like, I would never advise that of someone else, but I want to strike the difference between the advice I'd give to someone else and what I actually feel, which is what I think a lot of writers actually feel, and that's it. Like, if my beta readers don't like my story, then it feels like a failure because I haven't created something that's good to read. Like, that's what it feels like. But I think it starts even earlier than that because we face it at every stage of the writing process. Like fear that I'm not properly conveying this, fear that my story ideas are too weak, fear that even if my story ideas are good, I'm too weak of a writer to tell it, that I am not skilled enough. Kind of on and on it goes. And of course, the only way to overcome that fear is to do the thing. But how do you face that fear every day staring at that blank screen or staring at a wall of text that you have no idea how to make better, and then tell yourself to be fearless enough to do it? And I don't know that I succeed every day. In fact, I think a lot of days I only succeed because I've done it before, and I tell myself that I can do it because I know I can, because I've done it before. I feel like this video is turning into like a little bit of a downer, but I'm hoping not because I feel like fear, gosh, it's a healthy emotion so long as you're willing to overcome it. Does that make sense? I feel like I haven't had enough wine for that to not make sense. I mean, like, fear lets you know that you're on the right path within reason. Like, I'm terrified of heights, bordering on it being like a phobia of heights. So that fear doesn't really help me. Like, I haven't jumped off any cliffs, so I guess technically it helps me. This was a bad analogy. I think all the things I've wanted most, I've been the most afraid of. I've been meaning to reread Big Magic because Elizabeth Gilbert has this section in her book where she's talking about like fear being in the passenger seat of the car and it kind of always being there, but it's not allowed to drive. It can't steer. It's like that. And I think this fear of failure is the way that it is just because I want the thing so much that failing seems like some indescribable, horrible pain. And I say all that, but I've had a lot of failures. And this is what I try to remind myself of because I've written countless first drafts. I've written so many stories that I will never return to. Like, never return to. They're bad, y'all. They're bad. And like I said in that live chat, I wrote a college-age superhero story, which is somehow both a market that doesn't exist within traditional publishing because new adult doesn't exist outside of like the romance genre, and then also a market that's so oversaturated in superheroes that it was like, I knew it wasn't gonna sell. I knew no one would, like, I knew that it was pointless to query it. But I still love the story. It still lives up here, actually. Is it here? It still lives right here, but it's been shelved. Literally shelved. Do you like the fake laugh and then the actual laugh at how dumb it was? And I'm sure that I'm going to fail again. Like, that first rejection letter is gonna hurt. But the next one will hurt a little bit less. Actually, I might be excited for the first one because it means that I've come far enough for the first time ever to actually query. This rejection letter will be evidence that I put myself out there. That might be exciting. It might be the 20th rejection that crushes me. But I'm gonna loop back in real quick the fear of failure, meaning that I'm doing something right. I'm scared of failing because I care so much. Unlike a lot of the greatest things in life, you can't get what you want without a little bit of failure along the way. Did I manage to loop that back in and make it end on a positive note? I hope so. This was kind of cathartic to admit out loud, so at least there's that. Please comment down below, let me know, do you have a fear of failure? And has that ever held you back from doing something that you want to do? Because I think, oh, this is a whole other thing that we might not want to get into. But I think as a child I was like painfully shy, and I think a lot of that shyness was kind of like the fear of failure, and if I changed failure to mean like interactions with other people ending on like anything less than a stellar note was a failure. Oh, yeah, no. Let me know, do you have a fear of failure? Has that kind of subsided the more that you fail? Or can you feel it kind of come back with a renewed energy when you're faced with another obstacle? Down below, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have no idea when I will be posting this video, so I will see you either on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday with the new one. Bye. Cheers. Hey, I actually, man, calling it a tipsy talk. I did not drink that much. Next time, you guys. Let me know. Do you have a fear of failure? Oh my gosh. And so much as your, oh, what's my light doing? I'll just wait for it to blink back on again. I have my wine to entertain me. Maybe it won't come back. Oh, there we go.